Hello and welcome. I'm Tauni, and today's Vinyasa yoga class will be a total body practice. I consider it to be more on the intermediate side, probably best for those of you who have some yoga experience and a pretty regular yoga practice. I'm going to give you the opportunity in several of these poses to take some different variations. As always, listen to your body and make the class your own. So when you're ready, join me down in a comfortable seated position on your mat. Taking the hands and just resting them there on your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in and out. Begin to lengthen both your inhale and your exhale. Take that nice long deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest. Let's do a half circle, rolling that right ear over to the right shoulder. And then down through center to the other side. Again, beginning to release any tension from the neck and shoulders. Letting go, feeling that nice stretch. Bringing that chin back to the center, dropping it down. Then lifting the eyes forward. Reach your arms over your head. Take that right arm to the mat and come into a nice lateral stretch for the left side. Reaching both arms back up, sitting tall, and exhale to the other side. Lifting up, let's come into a tabletop position. We're going to move through a few rounds of cow and cat. So breathe in into cow pose. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Moving at your own pace with your breath. Moving through every vertebrae of the spine. Let's do one more round. Finding a neutral spine, extend the right arm forward and the left leg back for bird dog pose. Bend that knee, reach back, placing the foot into the hand, and then press that foot in order to feel a nice stretch in the shoulder and the front of the thigh. Extend to bird dog and release. Let's try that on the other side, extending left arm, right leg. And then bending the knee, reaching back, placing the foot into the hand, actively press. Extend back out and release. We're going to take the toes down into the mat, drop your hips towards your heels, reach your arms over your head, and then sweep those arms behind the back, grabbing onto the opposite elbow. Turn your gaze upward. Bringing the eyes back forward, releasing the elbows, moving into our first downward facing dog. Begin to walk your dog, adding any movement that feels good. Maybe shifting the hips from side to side as well. Then when you're ready, settle into your pose of down dog. Move forward to a high plank. Shoulders right over the wrist. Shift forward on your toes and lower all the way down to the mat. Press the tops of the feet into the mat and lift your heart for a baby cobra. Coming back to the mat. Press your hips back for extended child's pose. Coming back forward into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, one leg dog, keeping the hips square, toes pointing down. Step the right foot between the hands, the back knee will find the mat. Rise up into a kneeling warrior lunge. Begin to twist, taking the right arm behind you, left arm forward. And then just staying in your twist, take the left hand down to the mat with control and reach that right arm up. Lifting up away from the mat, take that right arm to that left leg, or maybe some of you might choose to wrap it around your back. Bringing both hands down to either side of the foot. Moving into our half split, straightening that right leg. Pulling the toes back. Begin to lengthen through the hamstring all down the back of the leg. Moving back forward, stepping to high plank. Shift forward, lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra pose, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg, keeping the hips square. Stepping the foot down between the hands, back knee to the mat. Reach your arms up, sinking forward into your hips. Moving into our twist, left arm back, right arm forward. So with control, we take that right hand down to the mat, remaining in our twist. It's a great place for a block as well. You can always place the block under that hand. Then lift away from the floor. Right arm goes up, left arm down, grabbing onto the leg. Or again, you can just sweep it behind your back. Taking both hands to either side of the foot, half split. Moving back forward into high plank. Shift forward, lower all the way to the mat in a straight body line. Lift into cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg, hips remain square. We're going to challenge our balance. I want you to begin to lift that leg out to the right side, but keeping it square. Continue to do your best to press evenly into your hands. Bringing that leg back behind you, step it forward. Rise up into high lunge. Breathe in. As you exhale, move into your twist, left arm forward, right arm back. Again, challenging our balance. I want you to start to lean forward slowly, as slow as you can. Float that hand to the mat, or some of you might choose to hover. Lifting back up, left arm reaches up towards the sky, right arm grabs onto that back thigh. Taking the hands down to either side of the foot. Straighten that forward leg. This is a pyramid pose variation with the back heel lifted. Moving forward, stepping back to that high plank. Shifting forward, we're going to move into chaturanga this time, elbows in. Flip the feet over, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lifting that left leg, hips remain square. Float that leg out to the side, any amount. Notice what happens in the body with your balance. Taking that leg back behind you, step it forward, high lunge. Breathe in, exhale and twist. Nice and slow. Start to shift, lengthen, lengthen. Right hand to the mat or a hover, left arm up. Then lift away from the floor. That right arm goes all the way up. Left arm grabs onto that thigh. Reach up. Hands come to the mat. Straighten that forward leg. Pyramid pose variation. Moving into your high plank. Shift and chaturanga. Upward facing dog. So in up dog, hips and knees are off the mat. Down dog. One more breath in. One more breath out. Lifting that right leg. This time we're going to open up the hip, bend that knee. So if you look under your left arm, you're looking for that foot. Choose to stay or perhaps move into wild thing. Leading with the eyes, back to the mat. One leg dog, kick that leg up high. Stepping it forward, warrior two. Lift up, we're gonna drop to Skandasana at the back of your mat. Turning those left toes out. Lifting back to warrior two. Straightening the forward leg, lengthen out of the side body. We're gonna move into triangle pose. And then we're gonna float that right arm out in front of the chest. Reverse triangle. Take that left arm behind the back. Circle the arms down to the mat. Stay right here in this low lunge. We're going to step into a side plank. So the right foot is going to step back, either stack or take a variation. Maybe it's a tree variation. Maybe you extend the leg. Find your pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. High plank. So hopefully we're building some heat by now. Shift forward, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Last time through on this other side, lift the left leg, open the hip, bend that knee. Choose to stay or take that foot to the mat. Lift up into wild thing. Lead with the eyes, back to one leg dog. Lift that leg up high. Stepping forward, warrior two. Skandasana at the back of your mat. Bend into that right knee. Toes turn wide. Lifting back up. Warrior two. Triangle pose variation. Lengthen. Hand comes down or float it out. You might also try extending both arms over the head. Reverse triangle, right arm behind the back. Bringing the hands to the mat, back heel up, low lunge. Here comes that big transition. Left foot steps back, side plank. Maybe take any variation here you wish. High plank, beautiful job. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Walk your hands backwards towards your feet. Forward fold. Lengthen the spine, half lift. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach your arms over your head. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Moving into tree pose, balancing on your right foot. Pivot the left knee out. And then find your pose. Taking those arms wherever you wish. Hands to heart center, release, Namaste Tahi. Other side, tree pose. I always tell my in-person classes, I'll tell you the same thing. Trees move, trees sway. It's all good. Releasing, hands to heart center. Reach your arms up, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Walking out to that high plank. Take just one breath in, one breath out. Downward facing dog. Moving into pigeon pose on the right side. Right leg is going to extend up, then into the chest, out to the side. Let's move into pigeon pose, keeping the hips level. Extend the arms and breathe. Begin to bring your forearms to the mat if they're not already there. We're going to do a half knot. Take that left arm underneath, just adding a twist here to our pigeon pose. Then begin to press up, moving back into downward facing dog. Extending the left leg, moving into pigeon pose on the left side. So you should never have any discomfort in your knees. If you need to, you can always flip over to a figure four stretch if that's better for you. If not, stay in that pigeon pose. Again, begin to lift up, bringing the forearms to the mat, adding that half knot, leading with that right arm underneath, palm up. Lifting out of the pose. We're going to swing that back leg around this time. Extend the legs, shake them out. Let's pull that right knee in. Keeping the sits bones down on the mat. Extend the left arm up and come into your twist. Turning to face the front, drop the knee out wide, placing the foot on the inner thigh. Sit up tall, exhale forward. Lift up, reach those arms up, and come down. Switching sides, left knee pulls in, sits bones down, reach up, and twist. Facing forward, dropping the knee out wide, sitting up tall, extend over that right leg. Lifting back up, reach, and come down, extending both legs. We're going to lift up, lean forward, out of that low back, and then we're going to roll down nice and slow. So imagine you're scooping your abs in, pressing that belly button down into your back, then lift the legs, coming into low boat. Bringing the knees into the chest, relaxing to your mat. Placing the feet down, moving into bridge pose, lifting your hips up, walk those shoulders together and down your back. And I'm not going to go into a wheel pose today, but those of you who practice it regularly, you are welcome to do so. Dropping the hips down, knees to chest, rocking side to side. Little self-massage here for your back. Placing the feet on the mat, knees wide, feet together, reclining butterfly. I invite you to softly close your eyes. Moving into our final resting pose of Shavasana. Extending the legs, arms at your sides with the palms up. Allow the feet to naturally drop away from each other. Soften your shoulders. Soften your face, your jaw. Scan your body from head to toe. Release any tension that you might find in your body. Quiet bodies, quiet minds. I'll be back with you in just a moment. So you are welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like, or if you're with me, simply begin to move the fingers, the toes, then bending your knees, roll to your side. Pausing here for just a few more moments of rest. Thankful for our time on the mat and our bodies. And I invite you to acknowledge anything that you're grateful for today, just there in the quiet of your heart. Then helping yourself up back to that comfortable seated position where we began. Bring your hands to your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this class. If you loved the class, please be sure and subscribe, hit that like button, and share it with some friends. Have a blessed day.